write a letter to Santa. Cash bar will also be available for mom and dad to enjoy a holiday cocktail like a Bloody Mary or a mimosa with a complimentary first drink for each adult. Now, you need reservations, so visit Eventbrite. That's Event, B-R-I-T-E, or call the Hyatt team here at 319-887-5004, 319-887-5004. And thanks to Matt and the staff for welcoming us here this season into the bar and grill here at the Hyatt Regency in the Iowa River Landing. A couple ways you can reach Coach McCaffery. Coach Kirk Spiro will be joining us in about 45 minutes. Fran is on his way to watch son Jack play tonight, so he's mobile, headed out to watch Jack play basketball. And we'll visit with Coach as soon as he checks in with us. You can leave your question at the Learfield control room, 877-464-2957, 877-464-2957. That is the U.S. Cellular Hawkeye Hotline. U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless with a nationwide network built from your town up. We're proud to be the official wireless provider of the Iowa Hawkeyes. You can reach us on Twitter with your questions or comments for Coach McCaffery at Gary Dolphin or at Iowa_Learfield or hashtag Hawk Talk. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/voice of the Hawks, facebook.com/voice of the Hawks. Again, on Twitter at Gary Dolphin. So the Hawkeyes at Iowa State, they've won 4 of the last 5 meetings. Iowa snapped an 8-game losing skid at Hilton Coliseum 2 years ago, posting a solid 84-68 win. Jordan Bohannon, Kevin Boyle, Mark Gannon, and Bobby Hansen are the only Hawkeyes to win 4 games over the Cyclones.
We were undefeated, no doubt about it.
Yeah, you
4-0, baby.
Yeah, well, you've mentioned that a few times over the years.
When you live in Central Iowa, you got to kind of protect your turf. I've since moved away now, so maybe I've softened a bit, but you're still proud of that with those guys.
You're East Central Iowa now, but you're still very, very proud and defending that 4-0 record. And Jordan Bohannon, I remember the last time we were over there, he signed his shoes and left them at the free throw line a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that was quite the show. And those were auctioned off. They quickly gathered them up and took them to the locker room and gave them back to Jordan. But, yeah, I think he auctioned those off with the proceeds going to the Stead Family Children's Hospital.
And it brought a handsome sum.
Yes, you bet it did. And congratulations. Jordan is fearless, and he's going to be walking into the Lion's Den Thursday night.
He knows that.
He knows that.
He loves that. Well, he was off to have both hips repaired when he laid those souvenir sneakers at the free throw line. So I'm sure he'll get a very pleasant welcome from a sold-out crowd at Hilton Coliseum. Let's backtrack to last Thursday night and then last night, Purdue, Illinois. 2 losses, but man, what great efforts by the Hawkeyes, huh, Bobby?
Yeah, that Friday night game at Purdue, ranked number 2 in the country at the time, and the Hawks trailed by double digits at halftime, but really came alive in the second half, pulled it to within 2, 72-70. Had a great effort. Patrick McCaffery in the second half, he had 12 points. You got Aaron Eulis and Tony Perkins, Chris Murray, Josh Agundale had his career high with 7 points in that game in that second half. So I thought a lot of confidence was earned, if you will, in that game. Couldn't get over the hump to win the basketball game, but great effort. Scared the Purdue people. Talking to those folks afterwards, they were like really nervous when it got to 2 points. They could see that #1 ranking, which they were going to be awarded with in a couple of days, slip away on a night when we honored their radio man, Larry Clisby, who passed away. Larry, 45 years of service to Purdue. It was a great night. It was loud. I had a headache. It lasted most of the weekend after that. And then you guys ventured down to Indianapolis. I went home with the team, and yeah, big weekend for the Hawks.
Yeah, and through both games, Illinois and Purdue, my lasting memories are the not the emergence. I mean, Tony Perkins has been a solid performer since he started logging heavy minutes, but he has so improved his game in the offseason. He's dropped about 15 or 20 pounds. He's really worked on his jump shot. He is fearless in taking the ball to the basket. He's a tremendous defender and did such a great job in the 1-2-2 press, as all of the Hawks did. But Tony Perkins and Josh Agundale, as well as Aaron Eulis, stick out in my mind.
Yeah, no doubt. And Tony, at home at Purdue, he had 22 people, he said, came up from Indianapolis to watch him play and perform. He did. And then back-to-back games. The game last night against Illinois, Tony was big. Off the bench once again, along with Aaron Eulis. And it was their defense, Gary, that I thought brought the Hawkeyes back. I believe we were down 10, and then it was a 21-2 run by that group in the middle of the first half. Fran mentioned it, that he felt that his starters did not have it at the beginning of the game in that second unit, along with Keegan was in there with Connor, Aaron Eulis, Perkins, and I believe Chris was in there as well, Chris Murray. They really performed well, and you mentioned it, the press. They disguised it a couple of different ways, but it really disrupted both Purdue and both Illinois. And Illinois, without their point guard, Andre Curbella, they struggled with it. I've never seen a game in back-to-back times where we had 10-second calls. Gary, we had 4 of them, I believe, in the last 2 games because of that press. They couldn't get the ball over half court.
That 1-2-2 is going to really pay off additionally going forward, I have no doubt. The good news is no more 7-footers, at least for a while. Purdue had 2 of them, and of course Kofi Coburn is as good a post player as there is in the country right now. When he came back, when he decided to come back to Illinois, a lot of things changed for Coach Brad Underwood for the better.
Yeah, it made them one of the favorites. And Zach Edey, I think, is an improved 7'4" guy for Purdue. Travion Williams goes to the bench as their 6th man, but he's their closer. He's talented. Guy comes off there. But yeah, with those big guys in there, our guys battled. I was proud of their effort, getting after it. Nobody wants to hear that, whether it be called a gutsy effort or whatever. But that's what people wanted to talk about today. They really appreciated the effort that these kids put out there. Lesser teams would fold under those circumstances, but to keep battling, it'll pay dividends. I played for the great Frank Layden and Jerry Sloan, and they always talked about, let's lose by 1. It's better than 2. Lose by 2, better than 3. So you keep battling all the way to the end, and then finally you get over that hump. And it's all about confidence and learning how to win and making a winning play. 18
Big Ten games and a couple of non-conference toughies remain for Iowa. So plenty of room and plenty of time for the Hawks to climb back up where they deserve to be. The new NET rankings, the net rankings that determine the NCAA tournament field, or certainly go a long way in doing so, came out today. We'll review those when we come back. We'll talk about Iowa's opponent, Iowa State, coming up on Thursday night, Cy-Hawk Series week, and we'll review with Coach McCaffery as soon as we check in with Fran the Purdue and Illinois games that opened up Big Ten play, the early portion of the Big Ten schedule. Again, on Twitter, you can reach us at Gary Dolphin, on Facebook at facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks, or at 877-464-2957. We'll come back to the Hyatt Regency in just a minute on Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery from Learfield.
There's a sense of pride that comes from the life of a farmer. How many people can say they have a famous tan named after them, or be known for their wave when they drive past neighbors and strangers alike on a 2-lane road? Whether it's a farmer's tan or the farmer's wave, we are proud to be known for a lot of things. We feel that pride every night at the dinner table, knowing we feed our family and yours. Iowa Corn is proud to be on the sidelines cheering on the Iowa Hawkeyes. In Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer. IRC Beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
When you build a network locally engineered for the home team, you know how important a strong connection is on game day. So you give every fan in town access to 5G at no extra charge. Now, when you switch to US Cellular, you can get unlimited 5G data for only $30 a month with 4 lines. Join the nationwide network built from your town up and stay connected to your home team with US Cellular 5G. Switch today and get unlimited 5G data for only $30 a month with 4 lines. Terms apply. 5G not available everywhere. See uscellular.com for details.
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
This is John.
Hey, my name is John Jackson.
He's not some actor. He's a steward of the land with a John Deere 3 Series tractor and a PTO Quick Connect that hooks up rear implements with a single click. John runs with us because to him, there's nothing more important than connecting with the land. Nothing runs like a Deere. Hear John's story at Deere.com.
Stop by your local John Deere dealer for a test drive today or learn more at Deere.com. Your Iowa John Deere dealers, proud sponsors of Hawkeye basketball. Hawk fans, stop in and visit the newly transformed Hyatt Regency Coralville Hotel and Conference Center. Located in the heart of the Iowa River Landing. Walking distance to Extreme Arena, home of the Iowa Hawkeyes volleyball team, as well as some great restaurants, shopping, and scenic walking trails along the Iowa River. Hyatt Regency is the new home of Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery this fall. Come find your place at Hyatt Regency, where we care for people so they can be their best.
Welcome back to the Edgewater Grill and the Hyatt Regency and the Iowa River Landing. Nice crowd turnout here tonight. It's chilly. The wind's dying down a little bit, so drive carefully if you're out on the interstate or out Christmas shopping. Gary Dolphin and Bobby Hansen here inside the Hyatt Regency, where it's nice and toasty. The food is delicious. The beverages are ice cold. And we've got Hawk Talk with Coach Fran McCaffery. Fran joins us on the line. Fran's mobile tonight. He's headed out to watch son Jack play basketball. Fran, good evening. What part of the neighborhood are you headed to?
We're headed to Burlington.
Beautiful Burlington.
Almost to Burlington. Yeah.
Well, that's great. That's a pretty good jaunt from Iowa City, but it's worth it. Jack's Iowa City West team ready to tee it up?
Yeah, they're 1-0. They won last week, and this is their second game. So hopefully they'll play well. They're coming together. A lot of Iowa connections, obviously, with him. And, Pete Moe, Jeff Moe's son, and Kareem Earl, A.C. Earl's son, Fabian Taylor, Billy Taylor's son.
Wow.
Christian Barnes, Val Barnes' son.
Starting five right there.
Jacob Cook, Nathan Cook's son. So we got a lot of legacies on this team. Hopefully Bergie won't screw it up.
That's a long legacy for Bergie to work with. But, well, let's talk about Purdue and Illinois before we turn our attention to Iowa State, Coach, because I want to get your review on that. Really great effort in both games, one away and one at home. Certainly Mackey Arena, one of the toughest venues to play in all of college basketball. And last night you got down, you roared back. Illinois came back, and then it was a rock fight there for like the last 10 minutes. But you've had 24 hours now to look at the tape. What were the likes and dislikes from last night in particular?
Well, I think it was an interesting game from the standpoint that, we did a really good job on Kofi in the first half. Got away from it a little bit in the second half. We were a little bit cold to start the game shooting the ball, but we cranked up the heat with our full court press and really got the crowd involved and fell behind in the second half by 15, which is pretty tough with a team like that. We came back again, like you pointed out, and we're really effective with our press, and we're pushing the ball, we're scoring quickly. Didn't shoot it particularly well. Made a few threes. Patrick made a couple. Tony made a couple. Keegan made a couple. But typically we shoot the ball better than that in 3-point range. But I think contributions from a lot of people, and I think a lot to build from. The Purdue game, like you pointed out, I haven't been in too many places that loud that were that full, and I've been doing this a while. And the way our kids handled themselves, again, falling behind by 19 and coming back, cutting it to 2. And again, just a lot of really good performances from a lot of different people. So I was, pleased with, a lot of the aspects of what we did. And I think you have to be cognizant of that, but I don't think you're ever satisfied with 2 losses. Because I think what we have to do is couple that intensity, physicality, and our ability to stay connected with a little bit better execution.
And, Coach, talk about the you said that, you know, by your words, you just didn't see it from the first group in the first 10 minutes of the game when you fell behind by 10, and then you went to the new guys off the bench, Aaron Eulis, Tony Perkins, Connor came in there, Chris, and I think Keegan stayed in there. Just talk about what those guys were able to do, a 21-2 run. That was phenomenal.
It was an incredible run with great activity, great ball movement. But again, the one thing that we were unable to do was rebound the basketball effectively. If we'd done that, I think we would gain. You know, you got to credit your opponents when they out-rebound you like that. We just have to do a better job of locating people. But more importantly, when they're shooting a ton of threes like that, get some of those long rebounds, some of those tip-outs.
Coach, Keegan looked like he was chipping the rust off in the first half, and expectedly so after coming off the sprained ankle, but he really went on a tear. He scored 17 of his 19 points in the second half, including a stretch of 12 straight. It was great to see the Keegan of of recent vintage. How's he doing after last night?
He's doing fine. You know, I was really proud of him. You're right. He was really rusty at the start. Missing that game really hurt him because, I mean, things had become really easy for him against some of the other teams that we played, and, you know, really was on fire. And then without playing the next game, and then the way they were defending him, he missed a couple shots early that he would normally make, missed a couple free throws, which he never does. So I think what you said about how he came back was really important for our team and for him. For his confidence, you know, making a couple of threes. He got out in transition a little bit. He got a couple of and-ones. So he had 2 and-1 traditional, and then he had 2 3-point shots, a couple of monster dunks. And, you know, I just think that really, as you can see, impacts our basketball team when he's playing like that.
And, Coach, in these 2 games, the rebound numbers were not in our favor, but the turnover numbers were. Another great job of taking care of the basketball and then flipping over the opponent. 18 turnovers by Illinois and 17, by my count, by Purdue. What were we able to do to turn them over like that?
Well, I think it was our press, number one. But, you know, you can put some quickness at the point, which we did, but it's the 2 guys behind them, whether it was Connor or Pete Sanford or Patrick or Chris Murray or Keegan Murray, those guys were really connected with the press, because once you jam those guys, they're looking down the floor because they're fighting the 10 count. So you got to make sure that you have that next pass denied, and that's how we got to transition basket. I mean, it was a great steal by Keegan the one time on a cross-court pass, and he's back there guarding too. So he really has to be on his toes. You know, so I was really pleased with that aspect of it. And you're right. I mean, I think we're first in the country in, you know, fewest turnovers. And that, you know, anytime, you know, whether you're home or on the road, but especially on the road, if you give yourself a shot opportunity every time down, you got a chance. You can overcome, you know, getting out rebounded sometimes. You can overcome a bad shooting day. You can come down, execute your offense, and get a shot. You know, what you hope to do sometimes is get a few extra seconds. That's what we didn't do last night.
Coach, hold on. We'll take a break and come back and get your thoughts on Iowa State Thursday then before we let you go watch Jack play basketball. Appreciate you checking in. You know, this is the Iowa Corn Cyhawk Series week for both men's and women's basketball. Wrestling got it going on Sunday, and here in Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is corn grows Iowa. Corn is a multi-purpose crop which benefits the entire state. It feeds our livestock, nourishes our families, and provides clean-burning fuel for our planet. Thank you to Iowa's corn farmers, including Lance Littlebridge, who's here with us tonight, the president of the Iowa Corn Growers Association, and he will represent our farmers from across the state and join us here in just a few minutes. We'll step out, take a break. Hawk Talk from the Edgewater Grill in the Hyatt Regency will return right after this.
What are you craving? The Wig and Pin in Ankeny, across from DMAC, is proud to offer dine-in and carry-out. Home of the famous Flying Tomato Pizza and Chicago-style deep dish, the Wig has all of your favorites, including thin crust pizza, appetizers, lots of sandwiches like the Turkey Club and Reuben, soups and salads you'll love, and a full bar. Call to order or just come on in for lunch and dinner. The Wig and Pin in Ankeny. What are you craving?
Hey, Hawk fans, Gary Dolphin here. For that extra edge that comes from looking and feeling my best, I reach for my Authentic Brand gear. The style and comfort of Authentic Brand by TCB Companies delivers that boost of confidence to be my best. Authentic Brand gear can do the same for you or your entire workforce. Outfit your life with Authentic Brand gear by TCB Companies. And don't just do it in Authentic Brand.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
Anything can happen when the Cyclones and Hawkeyes come to compete. It's where the rubber meets the road. Neighbors become rivals and friends become foes. Some go home broken-hearted, while others are victorious. When the dust finally settles, one thing stands true. No matter which side you're on, you're part of tradition for those who are Iowan through and through. We're Iowa Corn, a proud sponsor of the Iowa Corn Cy-Hawk Series. In Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
The holiday season is here. Time for laughter and time for cheer. This year, enjoy spending time celebrating with family and friends. Just remember, buzz driving is drunk driving. If you're going to drink, plan another way home before the celebration begins and encourage your friends and family to do the same. Even one too many drinks increases the risk of a crash while driving. Be responsible and have a happy holidays. This message is brought to you by the Iowa Department of Public Safety, the Governor's Traffic Safety Bureau, and your local law enforcement.
The next time you visit Eastern Iowa, check out the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes, the hotel at Kirkwood Center, Klosterman Construction, the Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty, and Bachmeyer Carpet One, Floor and Home of the beautiful Guarantee. Bachmeyer Carpet One is proud to support the Hawkeyes. If you're looking to remodel, build a new home, or just redo a room, we are your flooring store. Outstanding design and sales staff with the knowledge to guide you in a friendly, stress-free atmosphere. Bachmeyer Carpet One. Come visit us.
Welcome back to Edgewater Grill in the Hyatt Regency in the Iowa River Landing. A beautiful facility, great place to spend an evening or a weekend. We got Coach Fran McCaffery on the line. He's headed to watch son Jackie and Margaret will be watching son Jack play for Iowa City West tonight. And Fran, all your fans, all the regulars are here looking for you. I assured them that you're not dodging them. So Lucy and Rick and the crew, and we got Iowa Corn here. So you better say hi to them, Coach.
Well, I promise to be there next time, guys. I'm not here supporting Jackie, so thank you, but we'll see you soon.
They totally understand.
Waving at you.
Yeah, they're waving at you. Thumbs up they're doing, Coach. Bobby and I have a question or two about Iowa State, but let me go to Twitter and Facebook because some of these pertain to the Cyclones. Sam says, Coach, what do we do? What do we need to do to beat the Cyclones in such a hostile environment? And then on Facebook, Dave says, what challenges does Iowa State bring Thursday night? So we'll put those two together: hostile environment and challenges on the floor.
Well, they're a really good defensive team. Really been impressed with how they've come together defensively. TJ's done a really good job with that. They're really pressuring teams, making it hard for teams to score. So you have to handle that. And the environment, and we see that all the time. Obviously, going to be a packed house. It's a terrific place to play. It's a terrific venue. But it'll be very similar to how it was at Purdue. Very loud, boisterous. And so what you have to do is you got to maintain your composure. We're plain and simple. You got to execute. You got to compete. You got to maintain your composure. Composure
is critical, no question. Ashley Ashley on Twitter at Gary Dolphin says, Coach, I know you can't comment on officials, but can you explain the process of how you review their performances week to week?
Yes, we rate every official every game and send that into the conference office, and then at the end of the year, you do it again. You evaluate them on their collective performance for the season. So you do it game by game, and you do it for the entire season. And then that's obviously weighed against how other coaches in the league rate those officials as to whether or not they're retained or get more games or whatever.
Alex on Twitter, Fran, loved the effort of the bench last night. I thought Keegan got his feet under him and really gave us a spark in the second half. But after 2 straight losses by close finals, how's the team's mentality? How's the players handling it? Nobody likes to lose.
I think they handled it exactly as you would want them to handle it, Dom, in a very mature way. We recognize we did some things well. We recognize that we couldn't close the game. We're not satisfied with 2 losses. We're not satisfied getting out-rebounded in both games. Typically, that equates to victories if you can out-rebound the other team. So we'll try to do a better job rebounding. We'll try to continue to take care of the ball. We'll try to continue to get a lot of people involved. And I think that's what's been one of the really good things about our team.
Hey, Coach, can you comment a little bit on the personnel for Iowa State? And most of it's new, but you've seen Cal Shear. I know you've liked him up at Minnesota and Brockington. Just comment on what they got.
Yeah, we know Brockington and Cal Shear. Brockington was the best player on Penn State last year, and he's the best player at Iowa State this year. Cal is terrific. There's 2 Big Ten transfers, both of whom are seniors. Freshman point guard is terrific. So he does not play like a freshman. Condon's been playing really well. As he's matured, I think you're seeing a lot more from him. And then, they got Grill back. He shoots the ball. They have a number of other transfers. One from Kansas, one from Washington State. Both are big guys. So a lot of new faces, but, very mature, older basketball.
And what is TJ's style, Coach? You mentioned they're one of the top 25.
It's defense, but they're quick. They'll go. They'll get it and go. It's not like they're walking it up. They're going to attack you. But they really defend. Kind of like I would equate it to Texas Tech, the way they play defense.
Okay. That's a very good analogy, very good comparison.
Yeah. One of the best defensive teams in the country, Texas Tech, year in and year out.
One more for you, Fran, from Twitter before we let you go. And we do appreciate you taking time to call in tonight. Ron says, Coach McCaffery, I love the effort of your team. They play so hard. They're so much fun to watch. Has Tony Perkins earned a starting role? How do you figure that out?
We'll go with what we've been doing. I think Joe Tucson and Jordan have earned the starting spot, over a long period of time. But, Tony's going to play a lot of minutes, and he deserves to.
Indeed he does. Fran, we'll let you and Margaret get inside there and watch Jack play. Good luck tonight, and we'll talk to you. We'll have you back here next Monday night on Hawk Talk at the Hyatt Regency. Everybody here says aye, and drive safely.
Look forward to it, guys. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Coach. Fran McCaffery headed off to watch son Jack play. Bobby and I will come back in just a minute. And when we return here on Hawk Talk with the head coach of the Hawkeyes, a visit with Iowa Corn and Iowa Corn Growers Association President Lance Littlebridge. This is Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery from Learfield.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer. IRC Beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
How do you become America's best-selling brand? Let's break it down. Innovative tech means smarter and safer driving. Intelligent all-wheel drive will keep you ready for anything. And built Ford tough trucks will always get the job done.
Plus, come into your local Ford store today and get super low APR financing, big cash back, and great lease offers on Ford's full line of cars, trucks, and SUVs. That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Sales claim based on calendar year sales.
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
When you build a network locally engineered for the home team, you know how important a strong connection is on game day. So you give every fan in town access to 5G at no extra charge. Now, when you switch to US Cellular, you can get unlimited 5G data for only $30 a month with 4 lines. Join the nationwide network built from your town up and stay connected to your home team with US Cellular 5G. Switch today and get unlimited 5G data for only $30 a month with 4 lines. Terms apply. 5G not available everywhere. See uscellular.com for details.
When you set up a savings goal with U.S. Bank, it grows with you. There's no limit to what you can crochet. Can do. Doesn't have to be crocheting, but it totally could be. Like the headphones you're listening to this ad with, you could totally crochet those. There's no telling where your savings goal will take you. Maybe you'll save enough for yarn to crochet your house or the whole town. Oh, right. Doesn't have to be crochet related.
Set up savings goals on the U.S. Bank mobile app, even for the wildest of dreams. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
In Iowa, we grow corn, a lot of corn. We love seeing our farmers in the fields, and although they're perfect strangers, we know them. We know them by their equipment covered in dust. We know them by their work ethic, where days off don't exist. We know them by the way they wave, passing strangers alike on a 2-lane road. We know them in the midst of our kitchen as we prepare another family meal. In Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. The Iowa corn farmers are proud to be on the sidelines for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Welcome back to Hawk Talk with Iowa basketball coach Fran McCaffery. We're live. Gary Dolphin, Bobby Hansen, here at the Edgewater Grill inside the Hyatt Regency, the beautiful Hyatt Regency right in the Iowa River Landing. This whole area has grown up into a magnificent destination point. And Coach McCaffery off to watch son Jack play with wife Margaret. But that doesn't mean we're done talking Iowa basketball. Kirk Spira, Fran's top assistant coach, will join us here in just a few minutes after we visit with our friend from the Iowa Corn Growers Association, Lance Littlebridge. Lance farms in Benton County, growing, he and his family grow corn, soybeans, and alfalfa. They raise red Angus cattle. He's been farming for over 20 years, and Lance employs a multitude of conservation practices on his farm, including strip tillage and planting cover crops. And in his spare time, he's currently serving as president of the Iowa Corn Growers Association. He's also a director representing District 6, serves on the Iowa Corn Exports and Grain Trade Committee. He was also appointed to the U.S. Grains Council Trade Policy Advisory Team. And on that note, you just told me you were on the phone with the White House today, huh?
Yeah.
Was it encouraging?
Well, it was good to have conversation with the White House this morning. We talked a lot about ethanol, and we talked trade, and we talked about transportation and the problems we have there. But it was a good conversation.
Well, we'll talk a little bit about that. But first off, welcome back.
Thank
I know you and I have had this conversation for a couple years now, both at Hawk Talk during football and here during basketball. Nice to have your wife with you tonight. And the fields are quiet for the most part here in December, huh? But despite the shortage of rain or lack of rainfall this spring and summer, crop, I'm hearing, what I'm reading, is pretty good.
Yeah, it was a respectable crop. We're very happy with how things turned out. Really surprised with the lack of rainfall that we had that things went as well as they did. But the reason they did is because we're doing so much good stuff with the soils. The soils are getting better and better and better. Our genetics are getting better and better, and farmers are doing a really good job.
When you say the soil, you're nurturing the soil, you're taking better care of the soil. The average Joe's out there sitting there listening. Hey, it's dirt. How do you take better care of the soil? Educate us a little bit.
Well, Gary, dirt's a 4-letter word.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We call it soil.
We don't want. Okay, soil.
Soil.
I was putting words in the mouth of Joe Common Public.
There you go.
Sorry about that.
No, being able to place nutrient with precision. We farm by the inch now, not by the acre, and that's important. Better drainage, better looking at the biology of the soil. We think of the soil as a stomach, a digestive system, and if we keep that healthy, we all know what that does for our bodies. Well, it does the same thing out there. It's if you keep it healthy, we grow great crops.
Farmers care about water too, Lance. You can fill up your cup or water bottle, or could this fall at both Kinnick Stadium and Jack Trice Stadium. You can do the same at Carver Hawkeye Arena or Hilton Coliseum for clean, pure drinking water during the game, thanks in large part to Iowa Corn. Explain that.
Yeah, so Iowa Corn did a promotion. We set up some water bottle filling stations and just to basically show everybody that we really do care about the water we share. On our farm, it's really important that we have good water. I drink the water that comes off our farm. I'm not going to do anything to harm that water. That would harm my family or harm my cattle or anything else. So that water that's coming off our farms is tested and is drinking water quality in most cases. Got a picture of me getting a drink out of the creek here not too long ago, and it was good water. So
well, you look even more handsome than the last time.
Absolutely.
I saw you. It must be the water, right?
It's got to be the water. Well, you always want to make sure you look upstream first, though.
Yeah, well, good point. I've heard that one. I grew up in a farm town. Seriously, everything that runs off the soil, if it's a heavy rain, if it's a summer where there's a lot of rain, goes right into the streams, ultimately the rivers and the seas and the oceans.
Yes, it does, and so that's why we got to be very careful about what we do out there. I come over the Cedar River today, and I was looking at the water underneath. I was like, it is so clear. You can see right to the bottom of it. And I just thought that is the product of everything that we've been doing for several decades.
And that's great for our fish and wildlife,
Absolutely.
too. I was at the State Fair this year with Bobby and Podolac. We go once a year and greet all the great Hawkeye fans there. And I was so impressed with what I saw. I am every year. Of course, it's Iowa State Fair, so it's agriculture-based. But the FFA, the 4-H chapters, I guess our farmers are in good shape for the future, the next generation or two. There's so many young farmers there. I was really stunned by how involved they are.
Yeah, it's great to have them involved, too. And we've got a young man on our farm that's helping out, and he's just got a super tuned in interest to everything that we're doing, and that's going to carry on to the next generation and the next generation and the next generation, and it's just going to keep getting better.
Well, Iowa corn farmers, corn grows Iowa by producing more than 4,000 everyday products. Corn, it's really the base for almost everything.
It is. It is. Corn is a wonderful, wonderful plant. It is the absolute best solar collector there is. It's an energy source, and Iowa's so good at growing corn. We're number one in corn. We're number one in ethanol. We have a low-carbon, low-cost fuel that is available right now. We don't have to wait 10 or 15 years for another product to come down the line, such as an EV. We've got it right now. We've got a carbon solution, a climate change solution that's available right now. Noticed today that there was a 40-cent per gallon difference between E15 and regular unleaded. 40 cents. And there was 90 cents between E85.
And that affects prices of the other fuels,
Absolutely.
biodiesel, et cetera. Lance Lillibridge with us for another minute here, the president of the Iowa Corn Growers Association. 4,000 products. Now, I always like to pick out a couple unique ones, but you intercepted me tonight. You were enjoying a beverage over here with your wife, and you came up to me, and you said, This has that sweet taste of silage to it.
Oh man, yeah.
What were you having here at the Edgewater Grill?
Cherry Poppins, I think, is the name of it, and it was absolutely fantastic. It reminded me of corn silage, And most of us farmers, and I think all the farmers out there listening would agree with me that smell of corn silage, we should make a men's cologne out of that, because it's fantastic, but it's got a great smell, a great taste, and I really enjoyed it.
You weren't drinking men's cologne now. Are you about to tell me you got a still out in the woods there? You're going to start your own brand of Cherry Poppins?
I'm not going to tell you that.
Okay. Benton County is a beautiful county, and a lot of woods and tree-lined and rolling hills, so you can hide out for a long time.
That's right.
Lance and wife Heidi, good to have you here, Heidi, tonight. 2 kids, passionate about growing food and fuel in a sustainable, wholesome, and profitable manner. Of course, that's what Iowa corn is all about. All right. Now, remember, you're on the Fran McCaffery show tonight. What do you think about Thursday?
Oh, I think I know how this is going to go.
Do you?
I'm going to be there. Was at the wrestling meet Sunday. Going to be there Wednesday night for Lisa's game. And so I'm going to kind of lean towards the eastern half of Iowa here for a big win.
Okay.
How intense was that wrestling match?
It was intense. It was fun. It really was, man. I tell you what, there's some tremendous athletes out there. I've seen some guys get thrown around. That's what we do to steers,
Yeah, they're throwing them into the scorers table, I read.
Right.
Hey, it's Iowa State.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get better with those 2 head coaches.
That's right.
at the helm if they stick around forever, and we hope they do, because Iowa produces great wrestling, just like Iowa corn produces great food products. Lance, thanks for stopping by on Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery. We'll do this again Thursday night over at Ames at Hilton.
I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, Gary.
All right. We'll be back with Coach Kirk Spiraw, top assistant at the Iowa Hawkeyes, and taking the rest of the way with Hawk Talk on Learfield with Fran McCaffery. Coach Spiraw joins us after this brief pause. This is Hawk Talk from Learfield.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
When you build a network locally engineered for the home team, you know how important a strong connection is on game day. So you give every fan in town access to 5G at no extra charge. Now, when you switch to US Cellular, you can get unlimited 5G data for only $30 a month with 4 lines. Join the nationwide network built from your town up and stay connected to your home team with US Cellular 5G. Switch today and get unlimited 5G data for only $30 a month with 4 lines. Terms apply. 5G not available everywhere. See uscellular.com for details.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
There's a sense of pride that comes from the life of a farmer. How many people can say they have a famous tan named after them, or be known for their wave when they drive past neighbors and strangers alike on a 2-lane road? Whether it's a farmer's tan or the farmer's wave, we are proud to be known for a lot of things. We feel that pride every night at the dinner table, knowing we feed our family and yours. Iowa Corn is proud to be on the sidelines cheering on the Iowa Hawkeyes. In Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
When you set up a savings goal with U.S. Bank, it grows with you. There's no limit to what you can crochet. Can do. Doesn't have to be crocheting, but it totally could be. Like the headphones you're listening to this ad with, you could totally crochet those. There's no telling where your savings goal will take you. Maybe you'll save enough for yarn to crochet your house or the whole town. Oh, right. Doesn't have to be crochet related.
Set up savings goals on the U.S. Bank mobile app, even for the wildest of dreams. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Hi, Hawk fans. This is Gary Dolphin. I've been telling you about Authentic Brand's superb Hawkeye gear. But did you know Authentic Brand by TCB Companies is an official outfitter of well-known enterprises and organizations, including iHeartRadio Group and Learfield? The style and comfort and great looks of Authentic Brand gear, both sporty and professional, will give your image a boost. Outfit your personal and professional life in Authentic Brand gear.
We're talking Hawkeye basketball the rest of the way. Welcome back to the Edgewater Grill here inside the Hyatt Regency. Thanks to Lance Lillibridge. Thanks to Iowa Corn and the Iowa Corn Cyhawk Series. Iowa Corn promoting honest, hardworking values that are uniquely Iowan. And on behalf of Iowa's corn farmers, we want to salute all fans and athletes for their hard work and determination to be the best both on and off the field. Just like our top athletes, our state leads the nation in corn and ethanol production. Follow Iowa Corn and learn how corn grows Iowa. Kirk Spiraw, who's of course, Fran's top assistant coach at Iowa, but a Sioux City native. You see a lot of that rich black soil every time you drive home to see the family, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I rode all the way to Sioux City from Iowa City one day because the plane was there was thunderstorms rolling through here, and we had a nightclub in Sioux City. So Andy Pirro, myself, Kenny O'Keefe from football. Basketball was already there. They had driven up there, whoever was representing the basketball program, and Tom Brands. And Brands said, I know the route because I'm from Sheldon. I can take you through the back roads. I thought we were going to be robbed out this gravel road. He was on gravel roads, but everywhere we went, especially when we got right south of Fort Dodge, and they were turning the soil. This was April. The blackest, richest soil I had ever seen anywhere in Iowa. Just
That's
amazing.
why we grow the greatest corn. You know?
Well, Lance, now he's from Benton County. He would agree with you for the most part, Kirk. But it's always fun to go back to Sioux City. Bobby, you had a daughter attend Morningside up there, right? Was it Morningside?
That's a dirty word. No, she was at Briar Cliff.
Briar Cliff, okay.
Yeah, they're bitter rivals.
I was in the county. I was in the right area then anyway. But Briar Cliff. Okay.
Graduated from Briar Cliff and 4 years. Played basketball. Blew her ACL out in high school. Repaired it up there and a couple more surgeries. And she became an assistant coach for Coach Mike Power up there. Really good guy. Kept her around. And, she didn't like coaching, though. You're too close in age to the kids, I think, in Carly's regard. So, she enjoyed it. Enjoyed her time up there at Briar Cliff. And I made the trek up there as many times as I could, thinking of my old teammate here, old coach Kirk Spiraw, every time I went up that way.
Well, Bobby and I have watched you and Coach Spiraw and Fran and Sherman relate to this generation of players that you're coaching, and you guys do a pretty good job of that. You relate to them well, it appears.
Well, we have great kids, and people with great character, and they're fun to be around. They're fun to interact with, and we try to enjoy it and make it fun and go out and compete each and every day. And you just got to stay in tune to what they're about, and not that I know a whole lot about what they're doing.
Give them their freedom,
outside
right?
the court, but I got my start. Being a GA on the floor with Bobby Hansen down the hall, so there was nothing happening. It was just all academics, and
so he ruined your perception, right?
Study hall.
Study hall.
We had football, wrestling, and basketball on the fourth floor up there, and Kirk was in charge.
So my first day, I didn't even know that being a part of the grad assistant, that I'd have to be a resident assistant in the Hillcrest dormitory.
A babysitter.
So Coach O tells me that that's a part of the deal. I said, okay, it's free housing and stuff. That's great. But,
sure,
I didn't know that I would have to be an RA and all those responsibilities, which are not all that fun. And I get, the end of the hall is our basketball guys, which is great. And the rest of it, and the fourth floor, we were on the third floor. We had that, and the fourth floor, that was all football. So my first day on the job, I'm going into my room to, check things out, and it was football camp. School hadn't started. I was there a week early or whatever to get acclimated to what I'm supposed to be doing as a resident assistant. And the music is just blaring. The whole building was shaking. And I know it's a football guy, and I said, "Oh, great, here we go. First day on the job, I gotta knock on the door." And so I pound on the door, and of course they can't hear. And I'm pounding like crazy on the door. And finally, this guy comes to the door, and he just opens the door. I said, "Hey, turn that down." I acted real tough and everything. Guess who it was?
Andre Tippett.
Mark Bortz.
Defensive lineman at the time.
Oh, he was a big. He was a big.
He was a big old boy.
He could play wherever he wanted to.
Yeah, well, he did for the Bears for a long time.
Yeah, he's from Pardeeville, Wisconsin, so that had to be loud country, I would guess.
He was great. He turned it right on down. He says, "I'm sorry."
And then later on came Gordy Bohannon, moved into the area.
I was long gone by then.
Oh, were you? Okay.
Probably just as well. But let's get your thoughts on present-day basketball. Last Thursday, boy, what a great comeback in the second half. Great effort by the guys. And then it carried over to last night. Unfortunately, the Hawks got down by double digits again. And you know, comebacks are great if you win, but comebacks are also very good if you make a game out of it, and they did in both cases.
Well, the thing about Purdue, and you know, I think Coach alluded to it a little bit when I was driving up. I was listening to him, and you know, we drove up to Mackey Arena.
Yeah.
It was, you know, we drive in an hour and 40 minutes before the game, and they're standing all the way around the building. There's thousands of them. I don't, you know,
students
waiting to get in.
Well, students and you know, regular fans, public fans, and they're booing our bus as we're trying to drive up to the side door that we walk into.
Right.
And so, you know, they got cops there, and you know, we're getting off the bus, and I mean, they're trying to light us up right from the beginning, and you know, we go in there and go out an hour and a half before the game, and that's when the doors open, and I mean, the students just flooded. And so the entire student section there must have 3,000 students
at least at both ends.
Yeah, at both ends. And so they are totally packed with an hour and a half to go, and our guys are trying to warm up, and then found out that they were trying to set an indoor decibel record. You know, I don't know what they did, but that place was as loud and as energized as any arena, you know, I've ever been involved with. And for our guys to, you know, just, you know, disregard all of that and just lock in on the game plan and playing as hard as they can, and it's probably, from an effort standpoint, that's probably as hard and as consistent that we've played in a long time, every possession. And that's what it took, you know, and those guys just kept battling and fighting and clawing, and nothing was easy, and we were boxing and pursuing rebounds and fighting and trying to contain dribble penetration, and things weren't going our way. We weren't making shots, and you know, normally when you're not making shots, all of a sudden your defense softens a little bit, but it really didn't. And our guys, you know, I'm really proud of the effort and the intensity that they played with consistently that entire game.
Yeah, and then Illinois, coach, same type of effort, came back and got behind, and then the second unit came in and applied the pressure. The press has been marvelous so far this year.
Yeah, the last two games, the press has been terrific, and our guys have played with great energy and great effort, and we tweaked the press a little bit. We talked about what we wanted to do, quite honestly, with the press. We wanted to do the same type of thing against Virginia and be more aggressive. And Virginia just kind of cleared everything out, and we didn't stay up and attack the dribbler. And we made that correction for these last two games, and we've been much more aggressive at staying up, and it's caused havoc, and it was good. And I thought we played really hard last night. Again, Bobby, like you say, but there were moments where we were just a little less than we were against Purdue from the effort standpoint. And not that it was bad, but it wasn't quite as consistent. And you kind of look at the rebounding numbers because of that. You know, I don't think we were as locked in at tagging people and stopping their run to the rim, and we weren't as energized to go pursue the basketball. There were a lot of funny bounces in that game too. There were a lot of funny bounces.
Tipped out a lot.
You know, and we watch it, and you know, a couple of shots that they made late shot clock. You know, the one from out of bounds that Grandison makes from about 40 feet.
Set shot three.
And then a straight on banker, you know, that I think Frazier hit. You know, those were kind of at the time of the game that gave them a little separation, when if they would have missed those, you know, we would have maybe been down 3 or 4, you know, coming down the stretch, rather than being down 8 or 9.
Coach, talk about, you say you look at the video, the film, whatever it is that you watch. You watch it with the team, or do you guys watch that together as a staff, critique it, and then show it to the team?
Well, I think I watched the game afterwards myself, and I make clips of every individual teaching points, for our guys. But then we watch it as a staff the next day, usually, and we make clips for a team review. That we'll show the team, the next opportunity that we have. So we watched it, what was it, this morning, I guess, and pick out the teaching points, the good, the not so good, and all those types of things, and try to make it as efficient as we can for our guys. And then we'll watch it before practice with our team and review that, and then our guys will usually go get a lift or a kind of a rollout stretch, that type of thing, and then we'll come back and introduce Iowa State today. So these days, when you have a 2-game prep, it really makes for a long day mentally for our guys, and then we go on the floor and we practice, and sometimes we practice harder, sometimes less, just depending on how we're feeling and stuff. And obviously that was such a physical game and an exhausting game last night. We didn't do a whole lot physically today, but we did some. But the review of that game tape is very critical to our improvement as a basketball team.
Well, think about it: Virginia, Purdue, Illinois, now Iowa State. I mean, and then finally the semester break or exam break. And you knew this was coming. You had 6 home games to get ready for this grind. But it is. And now Fran thinks the guy's mental approach is really good and sharp. What are you seeing? Same thing?
Well, I am. I mean, obviously we were frustrated with the two games that we didn't win. And you're never satisfied with that. You look at the things that you could have done different, and do you change defenses more? Did we run some plays differently, or could have called some different things to try to get a basket? We're not shooting the ball quite as consistently as we can, and we will, and that makes it really difficult. But the way I view this, and I kind of told him this before the game yesterday when we were talking right before the game on what we did and how we handled things at Virginia, and what we did and how we battled at Purdue. And this is a really tough stretch, and we beat a really good Virginia team on the road, and they're one of the best defensive teams in the country, and we played really well offensively, in particular in the first half. And to fight the way we did and get down and fight back against Purdue, I told him before the game that I think that says a lot about our team. I think we're finding out a lot about this basketball team that is still growing and maturing, and people are dealing with having to play new roles, more advanced roles and that type of thing. And we're still feeling, and our rotations and all of that, we're still working through all that. And as disappointing as last night was, and how frustrated we were, especially with the rebounding numbers, there's still an awful lot of good things that we did yesterday. And, we just got to keep building on that. And, they're disappointed, but, you just got to take that adversity and you got to turn it into a learning deal and just move forward with it and go after things.
Coach Kirk Speraw with us on the Hawk Talk program with Fran McCaffery, Gary Dolphin here, along with Bobby Hansen, former Hawkeye great. We'll come back and talk more with Kirk. We'll turn our attention to Iowa State for the remainder of the program after this break here at the beautiful Edgewater Grill in the Hyatt Regency in the Iowa River Landing. So come on out. You can join us yet tonight. We'll be here a while, and certainly next Monday night for our next Talk with Coach McCaffery. The Iowa Hawkeyes are officially headed to the Citrus Bowl in Orlando. Head to HawkeyeSports.com/Bowl Central and view information on game tickets, air travel, and hotel. That's HawkeyeSports.com/Bowl Central. Presented by Travel Leaders, Destinations Unlimited, Iowa's official bowl tour. Pody and I would love to see you in Orlando at Disney World as we take a picture with Goofy and Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse. Let's pause 10 seconds right now for station identification. 10-second ID break here on the Hawkeye Radio. Radio Network. This is Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery. More questions and comments from Coach Spiro coming up next on Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery from Learfield.
American Equity salutes today's hero of the game and is a proud sponsor of the ongoing recognition of our military at Hawkeye games this season. Thank you to all the men and women, past and present, who have served our country and allow all of us to enjoy the freedom and liberty we enjoy today. American Equity's vision is to become the premier insurance company specializing in retirement savings and income products. To learn more about our company, please visit our website at american-equity.com.
When you build a network locally engineered for the home team, you know how important a strong connection is on game day. So you give every fan in town access to 5G at no extra charge. Now, when you switch to US Cellular, you can get unlimited 5G data for only $30 a month with 4 lines. Join the nationwide network built from your town up and stay connected to your home team with US Cellular 5G. Switch today and get unlimited 5G data for only $30 a month with 4 lines. Terms apply. 5G not available everywhere. See uscellular.com for details.
Hi, I'm Gary Dolphin, and if you want your home to be exceptionally comfortable during these cold Iowa winters and hot, humid summers, you need to turn to Dave Lennox and your local Lennox home comfort specialist. Lennox has been serving Iowa consumers since 1895, when Dave Lennox built his first furnace in Marshalltown, and Lennox is still building its high-efficiency furnaces and air conditioners there today. For the best home comfort system you can buy, it's Lennox and your local Lennox dealer. Lennox and the Hawkeyes. Now there's a winning combination.
What are you craving? The Wig and Pin in Ankeny, across from DMAC, is proud to offer dine-in and carry-out. Home of the famous Flying Tomato Pizza and Chicago-style deep dish, The Wig has all of your favorites, including thin crust pizza, appetizers, lots of sandwiches like the Turkey Club and Reuben, soups and salads you'll love, and a full bar. Call to order or just come on in for lunch and dinner. The Wig and Pin in Ankeny. What are you craving?
Are you looking to downsize from your family home to begin your retirement years? Our Oak Knoll East campus is for you. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director at Oak Knoll. Our new campus has many unique amenities for your active lifestyle, in addition to providing the same great services that Oak Knoll has offered our residents for over 50 years. We're now open and have a few 2-bedroom apartments still available. Call me at 319-351-1720 or visit oakknoll.com to set up your personal tour. Go Hawks!
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
And we're back at the Edgewater Grill inside the Hyatt Regency, the beautiful Hyatt Regency. They're going to do some remodeling in here in the bar and restaurant area and take better advantage of some of the spaces in the corners and around the bends. So make it a point to come on out for dinner, lunch, cocktails, your favorite Budweiser product in the coming months as Hawkeye basketball proceeds. And we'll talk more about Iowa State and Iowa, which comes up Thursday night here on the Hawkeye Radio Network at 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock for the pregame show. I want to mention, too, Lisa Bluter and the Hawkeye women play at Iowa State tomorrow night. On the U.S. Bank scoreboard tonight, there was a Big Ten final to pass along. Michigan out in Lincoln handled Nebraska 102-67. Juwan Howard's Wolverines back on track, winning handily 102-67 over Fred Hoiberg's Huskers. 10th-ranked Kentucky, a 12-point winner over Southern. 13th-ranked Tennessee is in 41-41 tie with Texas Tech late in the first half. 8th-ranked Kansas has a 20-point lead on Texas El Paso early on in the second period. Iowa State tomorrow night. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Bobby, let's start this round of questioning for Coach Spiro with you.
Yeah, we could talk all night long, but we're running out of time here. But I just wanted to comment, to hear Kirk's comments on Philip Rabracha, our guy we got out of the transfer portal from North Dakota. And he is undersized, but he has got a bigger heart than all of them guys. And he is just in there battling. 7'4" the other night. Kofi Coburn, 7'2", 290. What are you seeing on tape? I mean, he gave you everything he had.
Well, you're exactly right. You know, Philip just is fighting his tail off. He's done it the last 3 games at Virginia. He got in there and scored a couple of big buckets against their size. He goes up against Zach Edey and Trevion Williams, 2 of the best centers, not only in the Big Ten, but in the country. And he's fighting them, and he's really crafty defensively. He's up the line to the front, and then he'll work back around and he'll bump them off the lane, and then he'll reach around and get a steal. And when they do catch, he has a knack of bodying them, and then he'll tall up and make them try to score over him with a little contact. So he's been really effective for what he can do defensively, and he's fighting. He got 7 defensive boards against the big fella the other night, and there's nobody bigger or stronger in the country than Kofi, and really proud of the effort. He's his hardest critic. I mean, he is really hard on himself when he doesn't finish some shots that he feels like he should, and he is a better scorer than what he's done so far, but we need those 8-10 points out of him that we can get down low. But he's really smart offensively. He's really one of our better screeners. He's trying to work hard to get our shooters open. He can rip and drive it and make a play for others, and so he's going to continue as he gets more comfortable. I think he's going to continue to make progress and get better as the season goes on.
And Kirk, as a rules question, what do they allow you to? What kind of contact do they allow inside in the post to guard a guy? Not 2 hands, but can you put 1 forearm on him?
You really want me to answer that?
I don't know the answer.
Because I really don't know from night to night.
From night to night. I look at Philip, he looks over and he's like, what do they want me to do?
Exactly. Well, he's, who's initiating the contact? And it's difficult. You got a guy like Kofi who bangs you with that left shoulder, and he probably moves you about 4 feet, and is it a foul? Is it not a foul? It's really tough to officiate. Yeah. But, you're supposed to, when they have a back to you, you can put your forearm on him, and you can lean on him as much as you want, as long as he has that back to you and he's trying to back you down. They allow you to kind of hold your ground. But then when he starts to face up, now that hand's supposed to come off of him. But the other night I thought he had a forearm on him, and then they called the guy. I had to look through Kofi to see what the heck Philip was doing, and he called him with a forearm shove, but to me, it was legal, for what Philip was doing. So, it's a game. Yeah. It's a game that's really, really difficult to officiate, and those guys do a great job, I think, most of the time. And I'm pretty neutral and pretty, I think, objective.
The other one, not neutral, was a foul on Jordan Bohannon. Fouled him with his face, I guess, or the side of his head. He called him in the cylinder, that half court at Purdue. He wasn't in his cylinder. He was an arm's length away.
I think that was a tough one.
That was a tough one.
Yeah. So.
As a parent, I'm talking to Gordy afterwards. It's like he's swinging his elbows, wasn't he?
Well, we were running a play for J-Bo last night, and we were running a double screen for him, and the guy just absolutely blasted him as he was trying to come through off the screens. And they didn't call anything, and they just absolutely leveled him, and it was almost an elbow to the head, and
that's where a brawl starts.
Exactly.
We've got some comments on Twitter here for Coach Spiro. Craig says, Coach, great half-court shot in practice at Purdue. Glad to see Iowa Hoops puts that type of content out on social media. Makes us feel connected even more to the program. What the guys do, the student managers, the coaches, including Kirk, always have a half-court shot contest at the end of practice, and Spiro stood up there, number 1 out of the gate, by the way, at Purdue, or was it Virginia? It was at Purdue, right? And drained it. Well, now, we all know what a great shooter he was in high school and in college, so congratulations on that. I'm not going to let you gloat on it, but I wanted all of America to know that you took it away from the student managers. They were all over your case.
But it was Virginia and Purdue.
Oh, you made 2
both of them?
Nice.
I saw the one at Virginia. I guess I didn't see the one at Purdue.
Yeah.
You didn't go.
Well, man, oh man.
I was bad last year. You know, Courtney held the crown last year.
Courtney won it?
Yeah, I'm trying to get off to a better start this year as we go through the year.
Good for you. I didn't realize you went back to back. All right. Let's see. Lisa, I always hear Coach Spiraw has the scout. Can you take us fans through the process of what exactly goes into a scout?
Well, we divvy them up between Sherm and BT and myself, prior to the season. We try to kind of keep some of the same teams that we play, like Big Ten schedule. We play those guys every year. So we kind of maintain those same scouts because we know that team pretty well inside and out. But, when we're preparing for a scout, we'll probably watch, depending on how many games they've played. I've watched every game for this year. For like Virginia, I had the Virginia scout, and I watched probably 4 or 5 games from last year to make sure I had a feel for what they were running because we hadn't played them for a few years. Then I watched every game this year. As we go later in the year, there'll be 12 or 15 games that I'll probably watch on an opponent down the road, and then we'll put together their keys on how to win the game. We'll put together their offensive tendencies, their defensive tendencies, their individual tendencies. We'll put them all in a scouting report, and we'll have diagrams on their plays. We try to have play calls, and hopefully we can identify what's going to happen before they execute things, and maybe we'll be smart enough to take some things away. Adam Woodbury was probably one of the best ones I've ever worked with, that he could take that information we give him in a scouting report and digest it, and then during the game he could recognize the action that's going to come, and he's yelling at Mike to deny this or be ready to switch here, and he's just orchestrating all of it. And he was just phenomenal in his communication, but all his absorption of all the material we give him. But
another coach on the floor.
Yeah, he was. And so we gather all of that. We put it in a scouting report. We hand it to them. We give it to them, on their phones and also hard copy. And we'll make an individual edit on the individual players. It gives, maybe 8 or 10 clips of each player. And they have more clips that they can look at on their phones on their own, but we'll do that as a team. And then we'll have, team actions and plays and things that, of how they defend things, how they defend ball screens, and what they do on, against zone defenses and those types of things. And we give them a ton of information. Yeah. And Coach actually gives them a quiz on game day and pregame meal. We actually have a quiz, and he'll ask a player to give the tendencies on, Isaiah Brockington, and they better have it and know it. And we go right down the list, and who are their three-point shooters, and what do they do defensively, what are their tendencies, and so they have to regurgitate that, back to coach. And hopefully that's then second nature when we go out and play. Sure. Because in the heat of the battle, you kind of forget all that stuff. Well, we want them to know it, instantly, so they don't have to think back in their memory banks and try to pull something up in the, when you have like a half a second to react to a certain cut that a guy's going to make.
Got to be reactionary indeed. Great answer, Lisa. Good question. Good comments. We'll take our final break of the night, come back and wrap up our show. Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery and Coach Spiraw right after this from the Edgewater Grill inside the Hyatt Regency. Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery from Learfield.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
When you set up a savings goal with U.S. Bank, it grows with you. There's no limit to what you can crochet. Can do. Doesn't have to be crocheting, but it totally could be. Like the headphones you're listening to this ad with, you could totally crochet those. There's no telling where your savings goal will take you. Maybe you'll save enough for yarn to crochet your house or the whole town. Oh, right. Doesn't have to be crochet related.
Set up savings goals on the U.S. Bank mobile app, even for the wildest of dreams. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Anything can happen when the Cyclones and Hawkeyes come to compete. It's where the rubber meets the road. Neighbors become rivals and friends become foes. Some go home broken-hearted, while others are victorious. When the dust finally settles, one thing stands true. No matter which side you're on, you're part of tradition for those who are Iowan through and through. We're Iowa Corn, a proud sponsor of the Iowa Corn Cy-Hawk Series. In Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
When you build a network locally engineered for the home team, you know how important a strong connection is on game day. So you give every fan in town access to 5G at no extra charge. Now, when you switch to US Cellular, you can get unlimited 5G data for only $30 a month with 4 lines. Join the nationwide network built from your town up and stay connected to your home team with US Cellular 5G. Switch today and get unlimited 5G data for only $30 a month with 4 lines. Terms apply. 5G not available everywhere. See uscellular.com for details.
Hawk fans, stop in and visit the newly transformed Hyatt Regency Coralville Hotel and Conference Center. Located in the heart of the Iowa River Landing, walking distance to Extreme Arena, home of the Iowa Hawkeyes volleyball team, as well as some great restaurants, shopping, and scenic walking trails along the Iowa River. Hyatt Regency is the new home of Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery this fall. Come find your place at Hyatt Regency, where we care for people so they can be their best.
Welcome back to our remaining moments from the Edgewater Grill here inside the Hyatt Regency. Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery, and we appreciate Coach Spearoff filling in tonight while Fran is off watching Jack play. I don't know if it was tongue-in-cheek, but somebody tweeted in and said, is it too early to offer Jack a scholarship? We'll wait a little bit on that, but I'm guessing that's going to be automatic. Maybe not automatic.
Jack's a player now.
You got to earn, but I know Jack's a player.
Yeah, he can
absolutely. That it would be unique. We've had brothers come to Iowa before, but 3 out of one family, that might be a first.
Yeah.
We're brought to you tonight by Authentic Brand. Get my new favorite Hawkeye shirt, the Corey by Authentic Brand. The stylish half zip features butter soft scuba knit performance fabric. Visit one of our fine retailers near you or order online at authentic-brand.com for fast, free delivery. All right, Coach, we've got about 6 minutes left here, so let's call this a lightning round. You give me short answers, I'll give you quick questions here. Sam wants to know what drew you back to Iowa City to coach for Fran.
Well, get back to family, and get back to the Hawkeyes. I really felt that was, we were struggling at that point in time, and anything I could do to help get the program back on track and competitive, not only in the Big Ten, but on a national scale, it was something that would be, something I would like to do. And Fran was kind enough to bring us back to family, and, Tracy's from Iowa City, so it's been great.
Indeed.
And Lute Olson gave you your start, right, Kirk?
He did.
Interesting start to your college career, coaching career.
Started as a grad assistant with Lute in 1980 when we went to the Final Four, and that was awesome. And then went out to the University of Denver with Floyd Theard, who was an assistant at Iowa, and just a terrific coach, and learned a lot from Floyd, and so that. Coach O gave me my start.
But you had a special exemption, didn't you, from the NCAA as a grad assistant?
That's when Coach McAndrews was in that airplane crash, and he was all beat up and in the hospital, and I got a special exception, and so I was out on the road recruiting from early February to the end of the year. In fact, you guys were going to all of the regional championship and all of that, beating Georgetown. I didn't get to see any of those games because Lute had me on the road recruiting. So I didn't get to see any NCAA tournament games until the Final Four.
You're a good soldier.
Yeah. Well, I do what Coach O tells me to do.
There you go. You're a good listener. Bob wants to know, Coach, what's your favorite arena to play or coach in?
Well, Hawkeye Arena is
Carver
pretty
Hawkeye.
good.
All right, let's say.
But I tell you what, the Purdue atmosphere is unbelievable.
It is.
And so is Michigan State. Is unbelievable.
His zone, I guess. Yeah.
Those are fun to play in and compete in, but that a part of that is they always have great teams too. So. But that fan base is just into it, and those are fun places to go and play and compete for sure.
Talked about your coaching track or road. Matt wants to know what each coach's teaching specialty on the team is, and their role on the bench during a game. I see you mostly next to Fran and up and moving with him or to counter maybe a move that he's getting too close to the timeline. But what I've always found great and unique to Iowa is the amount of head coaching experience that you and Coach Herman Dillard and Billy Taylor's been a head coach. You guys you bring a wealth of head coaching experience to the bench.
Well, and it's we have our fingers in all of it too. It's not that one of us is in charge of one particular area. We all have a broad base of experience, and we're all giving our opinions and ideas, and whether it's offense or defense or substitution patterns or whatever. But that was one thing, quite honestly, when Coach came 12 years ago, that really says a lot about him. He didn't rush and bring his whole staff from Siena. He took his time, and he hired me a month after he was hired, and really took his time and evaluated, and then Sherm was hired like a month after I was. So he wanted people that would fit Iowa City in this community, and you got to respect him for being thorough and taking his time to do that.
We're brought to you tonight, Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery by Wellmark, Blue Cross Blue Shield. Blue is caring and convenient, and now Blue is Medicare Advantage from Wellmark Advantage Health Plans, offering all-in-one Medicare coverage, our extensive network, and the confidence of being covered by Wellmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Learn more at wellmarkadvantage.com. By the way, this entire show can be heard 15 minutes after it concludes tonight on the Fight for Iowa podcast feed. If you'd like to listen to it, or if you missed part of it tonight, it's our weekly Fight for Iowa and Herky's Voice podcast, exclusive game day content, and more. So if you missed any part of tonight's show, subscribe to the Fight for Iowa podcast. We're brought to you by the Hyatt Regency. Of course, we're at the Edgewater Grill here in the Hyatt Regency in the Iowa River Landing. Join us for Hawk Talk each and every week at the Edgewater Bar and Grill, where you can enjoy extended happy hour until 8:30. The various nightly specials include $2 Michelob drafts, half-off glasses of select wines, buy one, get one half-off appetizer and sandwich. Each week that you come to the show, you'll be entered into the hotel's drawing and win a range of prizes, from a bottle of wine to a free night stay at the Hyatt Regency in Coralville. Kirk, we got about a minute left. We heard Fran's thoughts about Iowa State. A couple guys in that starting lineup, Brockington and Kelcher, that we're very familiar with. Give us a 45-second synopsis.
Well, I think what TJ's done a really great job of is he's taken a lot of different pieces from various places. They got a lot of transfers, and they've meshed together very, very well. They are playing outstanding defense right now. And you can see it from the very first game and the growth and how they've refined things over the last 7-8 games. They're exceptionally good in the half-court defense. And Isaiah Brockington he's just a tremendous athlete and can go and score in a number of ways. And Kelcher's a very good shooter, but they got a point guard who's very good too in Tyrese Hunter. So, but they've got to play 8 or 9 guys and lock in with those guys, and they're all playing with great energy and cohesiveness right now.
And they're 8-0, so they're very good at what they've been doing. Thanks, Coach, for filling in for Fran tonight. Bobby, great to see you, and we'll reconvene Thursday night in Ames. Hawkeyes and the Cyclones at 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock for the pregame show. Come back with us next Monday for Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery at the Edgewater Bar and Grill in the Hyatt Regency. Good night, everybody.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network. From Learfield, this has been Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network.